Bonjour, we're back with more Return of the Obra Dinn. Let's get started. Okay, guys, so if you recall, I had to make a new save so that we could change some of the answers. So I had to go through it was very time consuming. I had to go through all the different scenarios again. I noticed a few things I didn't notice last time, which is very interesting. And went through it and changed my answers. So we'll go over that in just a second here. I went ahead and wrote down from the spoiler-free guide by Maru's Works on Steam. I wrote the next two chapters. Well, not the next because Bargain you can't unlock yet, but we've got the Doom. We've got Escape. Actually, it's three. The Doom, Escape, and the End we need to go through, I think. But yes. So here's the thing. This is a great game. This is a really, really great game. This sepia and the lack of detail, because it's very sketchy, hurts my eyes. I've said this a few times. Because this game is detail focused, I have to really strain my eyes to notice the details. Now, sometimes things will get more detailed as you find, like people's faces and stuff, as you find out more about them, which is a really nice little detail. But I can't play this game for longer than an hour and a half, and I had a huge headache when I spent a few days trying to get us to where we were. We've also been playing this game for about 2-3 months. I think it's time to move on because I've got a lot of other games I really, really want to play. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the best we can to solve what we have left. And then whatever we don't solve, I'm going to go look up the answers and I'll go over it with you when we do the next gameplay so you can see what they're saying the answers are, and if they give an explanation or like what it is that points it out. We'll go from, we'll put that in there. I'll put that in there with you watching, and then we can move on to the next chapter, and hopefully in the gameplay hopefully in the game, either the next gameplay or the gameplay after that. And then we're going to start Root Trees Are Dead. How's that sound? I think that sounds great. Like I said, this is a really great game. It hurts my eyes. It hurts my eyes. My eyesight is not very good, and it's always at the end of the day when I play this. So I'm either spending all day having to stare at a computer screen anyway, or I'm out doing stuff for the house, and I'm tired. So let's see. Okay, so as you can see, I went to the last. I followed the chapters. We're gonna pull everything back up here. I tried to bookmark every person that I didn't know to see them again. I did change a few things. I'll show you what I changed. Not here. Not here. Maybe here. I found out who some of the characters were. I found out I found out who the carpenters are. We'll just go through it real quick. Hold on one second. Okay. So here's what we've got so far. We don't know who this gentleman is. I actually have an idea who this gentleman is. So there's two brothers. Okay, and they're something Peters. There's two brothers. And I just have to figure out which is which, because there's only two men that have the same last name. So I think that's the only way you can determine who they are. So looking at this image, this is the one that got crushed. This is the guy that, I believe he clubs another guy, the Lars guy, because the Lars guy was, I don't know, he was working the cargo and it slipped or whatever and crushed this gentleman. And you see this guy later on a scene where they're like trying to get in the boats, and he's like, hey, let me in the boat. Lars is saying, let me in the boats. And this guy is like, no, you killed my brother. And the other guy's like, no, he didn't do it. It was an accident. And he's like, no. And he takes the club and he just whacks him. I think it was a club. Maybe it was a sword. I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure, and this would make sense in the context of this image. You know how he's kind of leaning over him. You know, that looks like a brotherly lean to me. So I think these two last names are Peters. I just have to figure out which is which. Also, what else? And I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about this. What else? So we figured out who all the who were all the names of all the Indian crew. We identified them from the tags on the hammocks. Okay, so the carpenters thing. I did find out who the carpenters are. And I'll tell you about that in a second. So we solved that one. Solved this one. We figured out who all the Formosas were. We identified all them. These guys, yes, he was shot while they were kidnapping two Formosas and their chest, and were trying to flee to the Canary Island, and he was executed on the way. We don't have this guy yet, and I don't think I have any notes regarding him. I'm pretty sure this is correct because I think he's identified in one of the scenes that is related to this. Don't know who this gentleman is, but he was part of the crew. And then, of course, we've identified all the. And there were 3 gentlemen in this scene. You had Chio Tan, who shot him through the window, and then there was another guy on another window. I don't know who he is. And then there was some guy at the very, very top of the ship. I don't know who he is. But let's keep going. Okay. So I think I came really close to identifying who this person was, but I can't. But at least we did get, because I know there's a group of Russians, so I think we got a couple of them ID'd. This gentleman may actually be Chinese. I'm not 100% though. We identified him. Identified him. I'm not sure. This scene, I did identify. I can't remember what his title was, but I did identify another person in this scene. Oh yeah, I don't know if I showed you, but Bang. I changed it from electrocution to burning. I was looking. I think his arms burnt off or something because it's like engulfed in what looks like maybe flame. And I say flame because later scenes, when you see flames, what are clearly flames from a lamp, it looks the same as what shot out of that chest. So I think it's safe to say he was burned. That would make sense based off what the guide said. So I was able to ID this guy. How was I cannot remember how I was able to. Yes, okay, so this guy is one of the carpenters. Okay, so there was, you see there was a scene near the beginning, one of the earliest scenes, where you see the 2 carpenters in their workshop. One's coming out of the workshop, one is, sawing something, the other guy's got a hammer, so they're both the carpenters, right? So I had them narrowed down. It was the carpenter and the carpenter's mate. I just had to figure out which one was which. In this scene, he says, "Come on, boss." The other guy is in this scene. So I was like, okay, so this is the carpenter's mate. And then the other guy is the carpenter. So I was able to ID those 2. So we got them done. Pretty comfortable with that. We had already determined him. I'm pretty comfortable with that. Yes, he, no, we had already ID'd him. I'm thinking of somebody else. Hold on one second. Yes, here's the other carpenter. We got him ID'd. Okay, there's Lars, who's, I think, the only Danish guy on the, does he say anything in Danish? No, I can't remember. Oh, yeah, because it says, You bloody Dane. And that's how I was able to determine who he was. Yeah. And he is present in that scene where the guy gets crushed. So, and then of course he's easy. He's in the photo if you go off. He's in that execution scene. If you go off to the place where the artist would have sketched it, you see him sitting down sketching. That's clearly him. We were able to ID him. Did I change his? I think I changed his. I think it was something else and I changed it to Crush. But I think if I recall correctly, this is where the tentacles are wrapped, like he's at the cannon and these tentacles are wrapped around him and I think they're crushing him into the cannon. I think that's the conclusion I came to on that one. The scene. The fuse. I think I had ID'd Wolf in some other scene, which is how I was able to determine. But a blasting is obvious. Let's see what else. Okay. Crushed by a loose cannon. I feel comfortable with that. I just gotta know what his name is. Yes. Explosion, pretty obvious. I think I was a little confused with it earlier because it just, you can't make out the detail of his form very well. This guy, I know these tattoos are significant. I don't, but I can't figure, because he's the only one that has tattoos like these. And I'm guessing that his nationality has something to do with it, but I don't know what nationality would have so many tattoos. Right? So I don't know. I don't know enough about this, whatever time period this is taking place, and which of the nationalities would have. I mean, I'm going to figure it's not Denmark, right? But I don't know what. We can look later, but I don't know. I don't know, but I'm going to guess that these tattoos are key. And then of course she was easy to determine. I still have to figure out who these women are. And I don't know how we're going to do that. I think there's something in the guide, but I need to double check. Okay, like I said, I think this guy is one of the Peters. I just don't know which Peter. And then we haven't answered any of these. So this won't be revealed yet. And I don't know, usually when this is circled, that means that's the next place you go, but I don't think we can access that yet. This, I didn't have a whole lot for these chapters. I think all these four got on a boat. Oh, speaking of boat, so not in this scene. There was an earlier scene when the squid or the tentacle monster, whatever it is attacking the boat. I notice if you look upward, because gamers never look upward, but if you look upward, you will see a raft with like 4 people jutting out. I don't know. There had to have been an earlier scene where maybe it was during Doom, but there had to have been 4 people that just, because they were all 4 were in a boat. These people, I bet some of these were in that raft, but I don't know how you would determine how. Because there was a boat, it was like way up in the air, and then there's like 4 people there. I'm assuming they all drowned, is what I'm going to assume. But anyway, so let's see. I think, does that get us, where are we at? Yeah, but I do remember seeing these 4 in a boat later. And we ID'd this. This guy's the surgeon, I believe. I can go ahead and name him, because we've seen him in several things. Okay. Okay. Okay, we figured that out. Don't know who he is. Don't know who he is. Okay, that was pretty. Okay, so let's see. I did some quick notes. I made a whole bunch of notes. John Napes. Hold on one second. Unholy captives. I made a note. Part 4. This unknown soul was killed with a sword by an unknown attacker. Yes, so I think I wrote Philip Dahl. I said it could be John Naples killed by sword by Philip Dahl. How did I come to that conclusion? Weapon used to be present at scene. What does dialogue mean? Okay, hold on one second. Let's take a look-see. I didn't write... I didn't, cargo hold. Okay. I didn't... For some reason, I didn't put it in there, but I did make a note of it. So we're gonna go down to... Like I said, I'm sorry if I seem a little spacey. I'm very tired. I spent a lot of my spare time trying to get this filled back out. Or do all this. And it gave me a huge headache.
Keep pressure here.
Hold him down. What madness is this? 20 years my steward, and never a doubt on your sanity. Explain yourself.
Those ungodly beasts carry a curse. Throw them back or doom us all.
Tie him up and put him in the lazarette with those things. He may yet find his senses.
Come on. All's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think. Where's the rest of his leg?
Okay, let's take a look-see. I don't think he... Yeah, I think he'd be ID'd right there. So I don't know... Somehow I'm supposed to be able to identify him. Now, I think I read somewhere in the guide about their uniforms. Something about their, like, the way they're dressed IDs them. So this guy... Okay, I've already ID'd him over here. Okay. So, where's the gentleman? He'd be down here. He'd be here. So, just looking at there, I mean, you do have a group of people that are dressed like this. And then... That's the surgeon. Okay, these guys are all wearing the same clothes. Okay. Okay, I see now. I see the uniform. These guys don't really appear to have a uniform. Just basic stuff. See, again, I'm having to strain my eyes just to notice detail. Like, these are obviously in uniform. But how would you tell the difference between them and... Well, he's got a little... Do they all have those little... These are the top men, aren't they? No, midshipmen. Midshipmen. Okay, so these I think are the midshipmen because they tend to group together. Gosh, I see, but not always because here's the carpenter's mate, here's the carpenter. And then you don't see the butcher and the cook. They're off to the this side. They're like way behind. They're like way over behind the artist, right? Yeah. If you can tell by their clothes, I can't strain my eyes trying to see that. But okay. So wait, let's go ahead and ID him then. If we can go ahead and do that. And obviously there's the sword. Did I? There was some weird sword I saw in some scene. There was a scene. I wrote it down. There is another scene that shows those hammocks. And it shows their numbers. And I know that's got to be important. So, we'll have to look at those scene because that scene again because I think it's gonna. I don't know why did I say? Why did I say John Naples? How was I able to ID John Naples? It says you can ID this man, but maybe that was the culprit. Person's name won't be clear who it refers to. Okay, who? Oh, he said John. He said John, didn't he? Okay, hold on. Keep pressure here. Hold him down. What madness is this? 20 years my steward and never a doubt on your sanity. Explain yourself. This ungodly beast carry them cursed. Tie him up and put him in the lazarette. You may yet find his senses. You fools. It's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think. Also fine, John. Where's the rest of his leg? See, but how would you know he's talking to John? Because then it says, where's the rest of his leg? But I think this is meant to tell us that that's John. I think that's why I wrote that down. Okay, like I said, it's hard. John Davis, fourth mate. I've got John Naples. How was I able to determine it was Naples? Gosh, I was so tired when I made these notes. Seaman Wales. Maybe it was the accent? Was it the accent? Well, he wasn't hardly speaking, but I mean, I don't know. I can't understand Welsh anyway. I don't know. We're gonna say, but we are gonna ID this because this guy is clear, right? So I put him down as Philip Dahl. Why did I say? Oh, it was the was it Swedish? He said. What was it? He said. Oh my gosh, I feel like we've been through this. Swedish. It was Swedish. Okay, that's how I was able to ID that. So now I've got to figure out why we said John Naples. I don't know. Well, it did say it wouldn't be clear at first who this refers to. I don't know. We're going to go with it. Oh, Captain Stewart. Also, the captain's in this scene. Right? I think that's why. Sorry, guys. Like I said, when you're running around trying to do everything. Yeah. Here's the captain. Yeah, he could be talking to him. And this guy. Who's this guy? I still don't know who this guy is. I don't think. See this guy a lot. Don't know who he is. Okay. That's, we know that the surgeon and possibly his, yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. We're good with this scene. Let's, well, let me see what's coming up here. Okay, so this guy's got a gun. I don't know if that's significant. He's got a gun. Would he be the gunner then, maybe? Did I determine that this guy was the gunner? Hold on one second. This is him. I didn't give him a title. Well, they're showing his pistol, though. That's significant. That looks like the cook. Or the... Okay, that's the sketcher. Yeah, this is either the cook or the butcher. I get them confused all the time. I don't... Okay. Maybe this guy's the gunner. I figured out who the gunner was last time and now I don't remember. This guy. Why is he the most blurry? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, but this is the carpenter. This guy's the carpenter's mate. I think that's it. I don't think... So you really have to run all around the scene because you'll see things that you won't see. Okay, let's find the way out here. Like I said, I've got such a headache from redoing everything again. See, now he's coming out. Okay, you know what? I can't. Let's go. Oh my gosh, are you not letting me leave? Ah, I can't leave. It's like right there. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's see. I don't know how I was able to figure that out. Anything else? Anything else? Yeah, I already figured out who that was. James Wallace. Did I mark 4? Part 4 of Return of Soldiers to Sea. Because I think I figured out who he was. Yes, I did. Okay. Okay. So that's good. Oh yeah, so there was some guy was shot through the wall. I figured it out. What was it? Part 7 of Soldiers of Sea. Like I looked through the porthole. Yeah. Let's go take a look at that scene again. So it's gonna be on the orlop deck, which is I think the 3rd deck. Yeah. So I think we got 1 deck up. Oh yeah, because this guy got spiked. And then if you go around. So if you go to this scene. And I'm showing it because I don't know if I said anything about last time.
Someone shoot the damn thing!
Yeah. So I think I was confused about this earlier. I was like, well, did he get like spiked or something? But then if you look through this, see that guy? I don't know who he is. I don't know how you ID him. But he's shooting. And I think it went through here. Do you see that little... I think that's what happened. I don't think... And I don't see any spikes shooting through her. So while the other guy was spiked, I think he was actually shot. So I don't know... Yeah, so I wrote that down. I just don't know who did it. But yeah, okay. That's it. We need to move on. I've got 2 more chapters to go through. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's make post haste. Okay, and then I reviewed... What did I say? Yeah, Doom Part 2 hammocks appear. Let's go take a look at that. Sorry guys, I write in the margins sometimes when especially when I'm just tired and just trying to get it written. Doom Part 2. How do I get to Doom Part 2? So that's gonna be okay. I remember the guy was. I think he was popping a squat. Am I on the right deck? No, I need to go up a deck. I think he was popping a squat. It sounded like he was, and oops a doodle. You see how it's like really blurry right here? Oh, that kills me. And oh, this would actually be a good. I mean, where else are you gonna go on a ship like this, right? They don't have toilets. You got big old holes right here. I hope you don't have anything in your pockets. Okay, we don't need to see all this again. We know what happens to the poor guy. Okay, so I think yes. Okay, so there are tags. 43, 44, and usually there'll be something nearby that will give you some information. They show me shoes. Do all the guys wear shoes? Who's 40? Hold on. Who is it? It's 43 and 44. Let's take a look. Okay. Who is 43 and who is 44? Maba, New Guinea. Do New Guineas do tattoos? Persia. I'm not cultural enough to know. I know it's not going to be any of these. I don't think 1800s India, I don't think they were big into tattoos. I don't know anything about 1800s Persia. I can't remember, but I assume this is taking place in the 1800s. No. Maybe Sierra Leona? I don't know where that's at. Why don't I just type it? We'll just ask. We'll ask. Okay, I don't see anything. Tattoo history among certain groups. Slavery and remembrance. I mean, maybe? What about tattoos in, is it New Guinea? Oh. Yes, a lot of tattoos. Papua New Guinea body art. Okay, what do I just... I'm pretty sure Persians did not tattoo themselves back then. Hold on. Tribal tattoos. Holy smokes. That's a full body tattoo in 1910. You know what? Okay. Tattoo guy might be from New Guinea. What's his name? Maba? Maybe? Maybe we've ID'd him. Who else is it? You also have Lewis Walker. So 43 and 44. Okay, so maybe. Might be New Guinea. Because I don't know. I'm so ignorant on other people's cultures. So you'll have to forgive me. Is there... Here he is right here. I mean, what is he? So he's a top man. Are these top men? These are all top men. This guy's top men. The others I don't know. What profession was the 43 and 44? Topmen. Okay, so they're topmen. I can't tell by their uniforms. They don't appear to be wearing uniforms, so I can't tell. I still don't know how I figured out who John Naples was. There was something I did. I don't know. This was over like 3 days. I just taking turns. 2 days. 2 days. Okay, I'm not sure. Can I see any tattoos? I feel like I'm looking right up their nether regions, which I kind of am. I don't see any way. What do the top men do again? Because they're right by the cannons. I don't know if that's significant. Glossary. Work above the deck. Yeah, no, that doesn't help me. Do I see him doing? They do above deck and wait. It was above deck and rigging. Above deck, sails and rigging. Okay, so I do see the tattoo guy. I do see him up deck a lot. So, Doom Part 7 is where I see the 3 men being tossed. I thought it was 4 men, but I guess it was just 3. Said there was some weird sword. Not here, though. Maybe on the... Yeah, okay, so here's this weird sword. And then I have 49 and 48 and 36. Okay, hold up. So we have 36. Here, I'm just going to have to make some notes real quick. Okay, let's take a look. Who are these crew members? Okay, let's see. So 46 is from Persia. Okay. 36. Did Persians carry swords like that? Maybe that's his sword. 48, 49. 48 is Nathan Peters. Okay, so they're all top men. Okay, so these are all of our top men. Okay, Nathan Peters. His brother would already be dead at this point, right? Hold on. Yeah, loose cargo. So Nathan Peters is the one that's alive at this point. Okay, we gotcha. Hold on 1 second. Okay, we've just identified one of the brothers, which means we can identify the other brother. Okay, let me, crew. Which one is he? This one. This is Nathan. Because there's only 2. So Samuel Peters would be the other brother. Nathan Peters. And then this guy would be... Wait. Before I commit. What are you doing? Who are these guys? These aren't top men. Is there anything else real quick? Let me look at the sword real quick. I know I'm jumping all over the place, guys. I apologize. I have ADHD. I don't care. A sham shear with a radical curve. No. Everything I'm seeing is like super curvy though. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe a super. I don't know. Possibly belongs to him. Where? Okay, so which one was Nathan? So this would be Nathan's. Is there anything else? Because I think that's what that's showing me. And yeah, these two are asleep. Maybe, or maybe that's showing me that Nathan was the dead guy. He's staring right at me. I was about to say, maybe that shows me that Nathan is the dead guy because he's not there. Gosh, I don't know, dude. What is that? Is that someone's shoes? There's also a 56. I'm trying really hard to find something unique about these people so I can identify where they're from, because that'll help me determine their identity. Because I can at least then narrow it down to their group. This one's just X. Who's X? Is there an X? No, there's not an X. I don't know who X is. Okay. All right. We've spent enough time here. Gosh. Oh, we can actually go up here. Who else up here? Okay, he's up here. He's up here. Okay, this was after Lars was clubbed. I don't know who that guy is. Okay, this is right after the kidnapping. So, not sure. Not sure, but we need to keep it moving. Gotta keep it pushing. Okay. So, it is what it is, but I think I'm correct. I think yeah, I think I'm right. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Doom. Okay, so let's see, identity part 1. Okay. This man can be definitely identified from this scene. His killer gives you all the info you need. Yes, we figured out who he is. We know he was clubbed. You should be able to work out this man's name using the crew manifest. He may have left something on the boat. In the next scene, that will ID him. Okay, so what's the next scene? This scene. Literally where we were just at. What did he leave? Wait. Let me get back here. This is ridiculous. What did he leave? Was it over here? Or the next scene? Well, it's just the sword, but that's not gonna... If that's one of the Peters guys, that's not gonna ID him. Let me... That's not gonna... Unless there's another scene where I see him with it, but I don't think so. This hammock's gone. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Okay. This man has a special role. We've seen that. Let me go look at... Yeah. I just know it's one of the Peters. Okay, let's go. Okay, Not this scene. Wrong scene. That was my bad. Okay. Here.
Let me on. Over my dead body, you bloody day. How's that?
There's no cause for trouble, boys. Get in the boat.
Before I forget, you killed my brother. What? That was an accident. No robes.
It wasn't his fault. I saw the whole thing.
Lies. I shouldn't have waited so long.
No, don't.
Yeah. I mean, he's not using a sword, so I don't think that sword would go to ID him. So, not sure. I think it's Nathan. I think it's Nathan. Hold on one second. Maybe it's the profession. He's a seaman. That's it. That's what it is. Because Nathan... No, he's a seaman as well. Son of a biscuit. I don't know. I don't know. I know it's one of the brothers. Okay. See, I feel so much clearer when I was going through the game and I was playing it all the way through. And now that I'm coming back to do the recording, the notes I've made don't make any sense. Okay. Part 3 can be identified in Chapter 2, where his countryman passes away. Oh, yeah, I think we did ID him, actually. Yes, we did ID him, so we're good. This scene, oh, these scenes are such chaos. They're so hard to tell. This man is named in an earlier scene. Examine that scene closely because it won't be obvious who's been spoken to. Okay. You can't see this man. You can see him a little bit earlier though, but you'll need to have most of the names placed to place him. Okay, so we're not going to solve that one right now. There two have an opinion whether you want to emphasize the barrel or the powder. Right, so cannon, that would be correct. Cause for the second one because the man was shot overboard. What? Okay, where is this at? On the gun deck. Oh, goody goody gumdrops. It's over here with all this mess. Yeah, I'm really close. I think it's here. There is one body that's like under the barrels. Maybe it's during the scene. I almost didn't find it because it was like under. Yeah. Kaboom. And then... So... That's a tentacle. Do I say the beast? Well, this guy's got a... Is this after that guy gets crushed? Oh, I think so. Because there's a body right there. I'm not sure. Maybe the beast, like if you want to count it, maybe. All right. We got to move on. What's the next one? He crushed, but we don't know who he is. This is part 5. So it might be difficult to identify the victim if you don't know whom they are speaking to. An entire scene in this chapter will make the role aboard the ship clear. An earlier scene in this chapter will make their role aboard the ship clear, and a later scene will help you identify who they're with. What's happening here? Sir, loose cannon. She's healing over. Find your footing. Yeah. Then maybe he's the gunner. Because it would make sense if he's talking to him. I'm not sure. Okay, let's move on real quick. Like I said, we gotta keep going. This unknown, we know he was. What does it say about this chapter? Chapter 6. Try to identify this man's role first. Until you understand what he and his friends have been through, some of these clues won't make sense. Get to the main bit quick. Hold on. Throw the powder. What is a bit? Moving lines. So, does that mean that he does the rigging? Hold on 1 second. I need to see. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm so tired. Okay, let's take a look. Who does the rigging? Top men do rigging? They do rigging. They do the sails. Is there anyone that does the rope? General manual labor. Midshipman. Usually a privileged status. I don't know. Let's move on. Let me get out of this scene. See, there's that guy again. So he's got tattoos there, but I don't remember seeing them from any of the hammocks. I mean, did you see a tattoo? Like, he's got tattoos on the legs, but I don't remember seeing them in the hammocks. Because if I saw them hanging from the hammocks, that would identify which crew member he is. I think this is the New Guinea guy. Is what I think. By the way, do we see anybody in this scene with a sword? I might give this one more gameplay day just cause, but then we've got to punch in the numbers, or we've got to punch in because we've got to move on. We got to move on. I hate looking up the answers to things. I hate doing it. See, and these guys are so blurry, and I assume it's because I don't have any. Like, look how blurry they are. Whereas these bones are like clear. That means I haven't done much by way of IDing who they are. Okay, what's the next chapter say? Because that was, gosh, there's so many. Page 90. We're skipping ahead. Favored possession. This man gives you a lot of info during one scene. He's left something behind in this chapter that can give you His first name. A later scene will show you his fate. I've got him down as Nathan Peters. Was it the sword? Because that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so freaking confused. Oh, wait. I'm combining two things at once. It's the top. He has a sword. He has the sword. Is he the Persian? I think it's supposed to be the Persian guy has the sword, because I don't think, because all the sword was kind of curvy, and all the swords that I saw though were really curved. So I don't know. Let me see. Let's look at the top men, because I think these are all the top men. I don't think they would have had a curved sword. Or at least not like that. It looked like maybe, I don't know where Sierra Leona is. Where is Sierra Leona? Oh, it's West Africa. So he is from West Africa. Which doesn't tell me anything, because I know nothing about West Africa. Wait, is that where the Gold Coast is? Didn't they do a lot of gold trade there? That doesn't help me though. That doesn't help me. I don't know. So page 91 top. Oh my gosh. We'll go this way. 91 top. This man has left something below deck that can identify him. His last appearance is later than you'd expect. Below deck? Like when? I don't know. What this man thought was important to take with him suggests education. Chapter 6 will give you enough to determine which educated man this is. His last appearance. What educated man this is. His last appearance is later than you'd expect. So that is this gentleman? 91 bottom. Well, he's in Escape, I think. And then this guy. What does it say about this guy? So, part 1 of Escape. This man's dialogue and crew manifest should be enough to ID him. Let me down, let me go. The squid, where is my French man? Your mate was torn apart. The beast is dead. How? How did you kill it? What does that mean? For... Is that German? It says German English. So he's German? Hold on one second. Let's take a look see. Who's German in the manifest? Do we have anyone from Germany in here? We have someone from Austria. Oh, we have 2 people from Austria. Christian Wolf, whom I've already ID'd. So who's Frenchman? Bonson's mate. Bonson. Ah! I think I know. I think I know who this guy is. Where's my pen? Okay. We're going to switch colors. Alright. So, we'll say... another person based on this discussion. Gather more info. What the frick does that suppose... Okay, hold on. Alfred Clestill? Clestile? Clestill, I think. Charles Minor. Why does that name sound familiar? Did I already ID him? Because I don't see anything with him. Hold up. Let me, where is... Oh, gosh. Where is his scene at? He is at the far end of the gun deck, which I don't even think we're... No, we are on the gun deck. Okay. Gosh, I hate the gun deck. No, no, no. That's the wrong way. This way. Yes, he's in the room. That's right. This is him. Let's take a look.
Put me down. Let go.
Easy now. You're in a bad way.
Mr. Squid. Where is my Frenchman?
The squid's gone. Your mate was torn apart.
For that. The beast is dead. How? How did you kill it?
We didn't. It left with the storm. Captain came up from the hold. Said he chased it off. You should rest.
A curse like that? Does that live for nothing?
Yeah. So, yeah, that sounded like an Austrian accent, which to me sounds German, and I do apologize because I'm sure a lot of German and Austrian people probably don't want to be compared. But to my uneducated, untrained ears, they sound similar enough that I can, you know, kind of pinpoint the region of the globe that they're from. So I actually feel pretty comfortable saying he's the Austrian Bonson. What does the Bonson do anyway? What, gosh, what am I doing? What is the Bonson? In charge of general crew operation of the equipment required to sail the ship. That helps me none whatsoever. That's fine. Who is he? Okay. So Charles Minor would be the mate. Where is Charles? Where is this? Which one's my guy? Which one's my guy? I don't think I have Charles. Okay. Okay, so let's... Wait, which one is he again? This guy. That's him? Let me look at the book again. Oh, this is going to be such a nightmare to edit. Okay, wait, this guy. I didn't think that looked like him. So, I think I feel comfortable in saying he is the Austrian Bonson. Now, I've got to figure out what happened to him again. He's laying there. There's a lot of blood. Oh, is his arm gone? Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Arm appears gone. Wait. Earlier scene will help you confirm what happened to him. Okay, let's go look at an earlier scene because it said his mate was. I didn't mean to do that. Gosh, I'm so. Oh no, it would have been over here then. Not there, not there, not there, not there. Here? So maybe while she is getting, that'll be on the main deck. Oh yeah, that's right. Hold up. Wait, is there anything up here? That's the captain. Okay. Alright. So we gotta go up. Oh, can't go that way. Let's go to her scene. Okay. Yep. There we go. Okay. So what would we say? Whoop. What would we say? Would we say torn off? Dismembered? What could we say? Clubbed, crushed, decapitated, drowned. Struck, strangled, speared. Torn apart? Maybe? Maybe torn apart. Yeah, I think that's the closest we're gonna get. So, we'll do torn apart. Okay. Beast. Oh! I hope that was correct. Because that's what we got. Okay. All right, let's take a look-see here. Okay, so we're at... Yeah, I need to end the video so I can edit it. I think what I'll do is throughout the week, I'll try to play this bit by bit and go through the guide and then show you what I've got. Because I really don't want to look at... I don't want to look up the answers to this, guys. I don't want to do that. I cannot stand to do that. Like, I think the problem is the pressure of trying to do a whole bunch of stuff in like an hour is the problem. So here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. I'm going to do this throughout the week. Next video, I'll go over my results with you. Just using Maru's Works guide. I'm not going to go look up any of the answers. We're just going to look up. I still don't know why I think that one guy is John Naples, because there's two Johns. I don't know. Maybe I didn't see the other John, and that's why I think that might be wrong. I don't know. I'm going to go back and look where I can take some time with this and go over it. So next video on Obra Dinn might be a little late just because I want to get this done. I've got 2 chapters. I'll tell you what my answers are, or I'll input most of them and then finish it with the recording so you can see it, because I want you to see where we go next. And I want you to see, I like to see how people solve things. So, and I'm not a great detective, so I do apologize. But to me, that's part of the fun is figuring it out, and then figuring out how, and then knowing how did they reach that conclusion. Because like I said, there's a lot of details. So here's what we'll do. That's what I'll do over the week. I will go through this video. The next video may not come out Sunday or Monday. It might come out like Wednesday or something. Be sure to hit that like button and make sure again that you're subscribed with your notifications on, so you know when I do the next gameplay of this, if you're wanting to see what happens next. Because I'm hoping that when we come back next time, we will be getting ready to do the bargain. And I'll show you how I came up to everything and what we did. So you can see how the solution was formed. And then soon we'll be doing Root Trees Are Dead. And then, like I said, I've got some Nancy Drew games. I've got a couple of horror games, 2 or 3 horror games I'd like to play coming up. And then some people have recommended some stuff. I've put them on my Steam wish list, and then maybe, you know, we'll see. Just because Steam's having a big sale doesn't mean I can, I'm really counting my pennies right now. So, trying to not spend any money at all, period, because all the bills are coming due. So, yeah, but I did put some items on my wish list, and then as I'm able to spend a few extra bucks, I will be adding them to the collection to be played. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm sorry I spent half the time complaining about my headache. But I love this game. I do. I think it's a really good game, and I would recommend this. And if you want to play it, it's on Steam. It may be on GOG as well. I don't know. But yeah, so it's an excellent game. It really is worth the hype. I just wish it wasn't this color. All right. Love you guys. Mwah. Bye.